Is your partner always annoyed? Do they pay attention to you anymore? Look, it's an incredibly difficult time to be in a relationship that feels like it's going backward. After all, your partner used to be loving and affectionate, but now you're not even sure what they feel. Worst of all, they simply don't love you anymore, and you can't shake the nagging feeling that they do. In this video, we're going to go through all the signs that your partner doesn't love you anymore. Keep in mind that relating to just one or two of these signs doesn't mean that they don't love you, but the more signs you see, then the more likely it is. But before that, if you are new to the channel, then don't forget to subscribe as we make content related to relationships, dating, and attract men and women. With that, let's get started. Sign number 1. Loving text messages begin to fade. As time progresses, most couples tend to fall into a routine together and become really comfortable. While that can be a great sign that you're both building a solid life together, it's also a good idea to be cautious about just how comfortable you're becoming. We all get busy, but at the end of the day, our partners want to hear that we care about them. And if you haven't heard that lately, it may be time to speak up. It's important to remember that expressing your love and care for your partner should be a regular behavior. Sending a simple text saying "I love you" or complimenting the cute outfit they wore may only take 2 seconds, but it can make all the difference. If you come to notice that your partner doesn't text throughout the day or the week, or that they don't return your loving energy in their texts, this can be a big red flag. Number 2. You notice they're suddenly spending less time with you. A few weeks ago, you and your partner were going to the movies, going out to dinner, and spending all of your time together. But now, it's suddenly dropped off. Instead of spending a lot of time together, they're hardly hanging out anymore at all. A lot of people will think that this is fine because they have work or other commitments that have cropped up. But here's the thing. If your partner was seeing other people that were important to them, like old friends and family, then that would be fine. But if they're no longer spending time with you because of a new friend or work commitments that have never existed before, then that's not a good sign. If you feel like your partner is no longer wants you around, then they could be spending less time with you because they don't love you. Sign number 3. The sex is completely gone. There are thousands of relationships that have a unique sex life. Some couples have sex 3 times a week, others 3 times a month, and finally, some 3 times a year. And while many of us scour the internet to find the magic number to fact check the healthiness of own sexual life, the honest truth is that there is no such number. This mystical number is the amount that you and your partner decide on to meet each other's needs. And while no sex life is perfect, your goal should be about trying to reach a middle ground. However, if you shirk at the idea of having sex to the point of disgust, your relationship might be near its ending. Sex alone is not an indicator of relational health, but if disgust fills your body at even the idea of kissing your partner, guess who feels it from you? Your partner. Sign number 4. Your partner is less affectionate than they normally are. Let's say that you always remember your partner being incredibly loving and affectionate towards you. But then, all of a sudden, this has changed. Now, when you're together, your partner isn't as loving and affectionate as they used to be. There is less holding hands, hugging, and kissing than there used to be. Do you even feel like a priority to them anymore? If they hardly show affection, and even worse, barely give you the time of day, then they may not love you anymore. In fact, the lack of affection could also be a sign that they're not happy in the relationship and want to get out. After all, if we don't love or are unhappy with someone, then we're less likely to be affectionate towards them. Number 5. They blame you when things go wrong. Were you late for the movie? Did you miss the subway? Note how your partner acts in these less than ideal moments. If they shut down, angrily blame you, or get defensive, it doesn't bode well for the future. Behaviors like these, coined the 4 horsemen by a relationship expert, tend to predict the end of a relationship with eerie accuracy. The 4 horsemen are defensiveness, criticism, stonewalling, and contempt. While all couples engage in these behaviors at times, if they dominate the majority of your time together, they create a disconnect in your relationship. The greater the duration of the disconnect, the greater the chances are that you will grow apart and eventually split up. So if you are noticing the greater dominancy in the 4 horsemen, then it's a big sign that your partner doesn't love you anymore. Number 6. Your partner no longer compliments you. Let's say that your partner used to be extremely sweet and complimenting of you, but now that has changed. They no longer mention your new haircut or new outfit you bought. Instead, they list off the things they don't like about your appearance, like your hair or weight. This could also be a sign that your partner no longer finds you attractive. The bottom line is this: when we no longer love someone or can't be happy with them, then we're not going to try and make them feel better by complimenting them. Instead, we'll try and put them down because they no longer seem like the perfect match. So if you ever happen to notice that there has been no compliment by your partners, then this is also a big red flag and sign that they doesn't love you anymore. Sign number 7, they won't listen to you. Relationships are supposed to be two people listening to each other and supporting and loving one another. But if your partner suddenly no longer listens to you when you talk to them, then you have a problem. After all, our partners should be the people that we can confide in and feel that they'll listen to us when others won't. That's what it means to have a partner that loves and cares about us. If your partner no longer listens to you, then it could be the case that they are no longer as invested in the relationship as they used to be. Sign number 8, you never talk about the big stuff. While you might not talk about 5-year plans on a first date, it shouldn't be too long before you get to the point where you chat about the big stuff, like how you feel about marriage, goals for your career, and whether or not you want kids. The same goes for sharing heavy stories from your past, or whatever else you'd like a partner to know. Being able to talk about these things is a clear sign that you feel comfortable around each other, which often points to a strong future. If you feel like there are certain things you can't voice to your partner, that may be a sign that they're just not the right fit for you. Sign number 9, you feel like your relationship isn't going anywhere anymore. Relationships are supposed to have a long-term goal in mind, like getting a house or kids. But if you don't have a specific goal in mind with your partner, then that might not be a good sign. After all, if you're not planning for a future together, then what are you doing? And why should you stick around with them if they're not going to be around for the long run? If your relationship doesn't feel like it's moving forward anymore and feels stagnant, then you might need to ask yourself some questions about the reality of what's happening. It could be that your partner doesn't care about you, but instead is in this relationship because they're scared of being alone. The bottom line? That's unfair to you because the relationship will never move forward. You deserve to be with someone who loves you and who wants to build something special with you, not with someone who is only with you out of convenience. And the last sign on our list is, date nights never happen. Now, if you're in a relationship and date nights never happen with your partner, even spontaneously, then you need to take a step back and have a good hard look at the relationship. Why? Because date nights are the time to bond with our partners and show them that we love spending time with them. It's also a time for us to show them how much we mean to them without having any distractions. But if date nights are never happening, then your partner clearly isn't taking you seriously as someone they want to spend their time with. If your partner doesn't show you love, respect, or commitment by doing date nights, then clearly you're not a priority in their life. After all, relationships are supposed to be a two-way street where both parties support each other and make each other feel better. But if your partner only cares about the benefits they get out of the relationship and never shows you love, respect, or commitment by doing date nights, then it's fair to say that you deserve better. And that's definitely not a sign of love. So there you have it, guys. 10 sign your partner doesn't love you anymore. Thank you so much for joining me, my amazing friend. I want to hear from you in the comments. Would you like more videos like this? If you would comment more to let me know. And of course, leave any questions or comments you have there as well. Do you have a friend who needs to know sign your partner doesn't love you anymore? If you do, make sure you share this with them. Thank you so much again, my amazing friend, and have an amazing day.